this year. We have a ton of new stuff and some surprises and some, really historic institutional news to give you. I'm available for follow-up. If you guys want to do one-on-ones with, we call them the red shirts. After the formal news conference, they are here. They're experts about just about everything. Some of the things that we have, we'll let you take close-ups and all that kind of stuff. So whatever you need visually. I think I handed everybody sort of the party pack with some information about it. And yeah, so thank you so much for coming. I know you're awful busy. And the treats and refreshments are there for you. And I promised somebody that they could taste the whiskey. Yeah. All right, so here's Nick Dingus, and he is our president of the Stampede Board.
Down in the back, okay. I want to thank everybody for coming. The Snake River Stampede has a long history here in Nampa. It started out as basically just some ladies from a local church had this idea of putting together a festival, a carnival, to entice other communities to come to Nampa. And at that time, it was called the Harvest Home Carnival. That was in 1908. And through the years, the Nampa Chamber, or the Nampa Downtown Merchants, caught on to it. In 1910, they took it over and they kept it going. The festival was held in September, 1st of September, end of August. And then in 1911, it became the Nampa Harvest Festival. And they had the little bucking contest from local cowboys, and it wasn't an 8-second ride. It was until you got bucked off. And they had a prize, $25. I think it was first prize, $5 second prize. It was, everybody had a lot of fun. It was just a big festival, big carnival that the community got involved in and brought everybody from the local area. And in 1913, they called it a buck show. They actually had a bigger bucking contest. It was actually down at the location where the Nampa post office is. It was just a roped off arena. The people on the outside of it. The bucking contest got going pretty good and actually bucked through the ropes, through the crowd, through some clotheslines, through some irrigation ditches, and they decided at that time they needed to move it out to the ballpark. And the ballpark is now, as most people know here in Nampa, is called Rodeo Park. And that's where our rodeo was held for quite a few years, up until the time we moved out here. But every year at the around the rodeo time, we had a parade every year, and it was every night of the rodeo we had a parade downtown Nampa. And we still have that parade today, but we just have it on the one Saturday before the rodeo. So that's a good activity to go to. It's an all-horse parade. It's been going on for years, and it's been a big event for us. The rodeo had some rough times. It's gone through 2 world wars. It's gone through a depression, but it kept going. As a matter of fact, during the Harvest Festival and the buck show, they called it, the Nampa Bank had to close up in 1932, but the local people, the merchants, they said this was not going to stop our festival, and they put together the festival. There weren't any prize awards. They just gave out ribbons instead. So Nampa's really been behind the rodeo, the festival, and it is a community rodeo. It's Nampa's rodeo, and we just enjoy putting it on every year, and we enjoy the participants from our local communities. And in 1937, it was going so strong, the board at that time decided they needed to give it a real name. It was called the Buck Show, the Buck and Bronx Show. Actually, in one of the meetings, they had an idea of calling it the Ski High Rodeo. I don't know why they would call it Ski High Rodeo, but they settled on the Snake River Stampede. And so in 1937, it was called the Snake River Stampede. It's been that way ever since. Also, they moved it from September to July. so they can catch the circuit of all the other cowboys and all the other rodeos. And unfortunately, because of that, the festival went away. It died out and never came back. And we had a stadium that was getting old and too small for our rodeo. So in 1950, we built a new one, and it was called the Green Queen. It held 10,000 people. Right there on Garrity, and she served us well for many, many years. But in the 90s, it was getting to a point where the board felt that it just wasn't going to hold up much longer. Being built in the 50s, all wood. The pillars weren't actually fastened to anything. They were just standing on cement blocks. So it was time to look for something new. We had 27 acres there that we were short on parking. We just had to find something new. And the city came up with an idea that we could come out here and build this facility. So we decided to come out and join in. We donated our 27 acres. Right now, the Snake River Elementary School's there. The Boys and Girls Club is there. The Hispanic Culture Center is there. Also, they have baseball fields, Babe Ruth in the back. So it's been well used by the city. We came out here, we invested our money and built the amphitheater. We built the South Concourse onto this building, which includes the rodeo club here, plus miles of electrical that's buried underground. The stagecoach that has always been an icon for the rodeo was used in the Silver City to Murphy Run. There were only 3 stagecoaches. We bought one of the 3. In the little pack that we passed out to you, it shows all the information about the stagecoach. We feel that the stagecoach is also shown its years. So the board had decided, and there's a few directors here that got together, and we built a freight wagon that should be ready to go, we hope, by May 16th for the Parade America. We used to have a lot of stars coming to our rodeo over the years. Eddie Dean was the first one. Probably the most famous one that everybody would recognize is Reba McEntire. She came, she actually signed a contract in the back of the chutes after her appearance here at the rodeo, the old Green Queen. We've also have got an honor that it's exciting to have. And we were last year nominated into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. There's only 12 other rodeos that are in that. It's a great honor for us to be in there, being one of the top rodeos in the nation. We've learned a lot over the years, and like I said, the rodeo's been through a lot. The history that I briefly went through with you is being compiled and written to be put into a book. Jimmy Hurley, our secretary, has over the years written a lot of articles about the history of the rodeo, and she's going to get that all finished up, and we're going to be putting it into the book with our partners. With the Idaho Press Tribune is helping us with that, and the partners that the rodeo has throughout the years has basically helped the rodeo stay together. The community, Nampa, the city, all the businesses in the community, people that live here. That's what makes the rodeo, Nampa's rodeo, the best rodeo there is in this country. We're a top 8 rodeo. We've came a long way from 4,200 people in town in 1908 to 86,000 people now. And that whole time, this rodeo has been here, strong. It's always something for us as the Nampa to look forward to every year in July. We also have an old time icon that's always been here every year for years, from an old Green Queen. And that's our clown, Leon Coffey. He's fantastic. People love him. He's kind of retired, away from traveling much. He does do a lot of rodeos. He came up here and we honored him 1 year, but he is coming back as our barrel clown this year. He's not just going to be a special guest and come out and wave his hands. He's actually going to be on the barrel. So that's, again, exciting for us. He's part of our history. And so we're really excited to bring him back. Today, we are a board, I guess we call the red shirts, of about 20 people. And Jimmy Hurley, she's our sole paid employee. She's our secretary in our office. We have got an operation now that, you know, it entails almost $1 million to keep this thing going. Our purse is about $415,000, 8th largest complex structure, I mean 8th largest rodeo in the nation. Our rodeo has become more complex structure. We have SRS Spirits, which is our whiskey and our beer, which is produced by Sockeye. Our beer is produced by Sockeye Boise. Whiskey comes out of Portland, and we'll let Steve talk about that here a little bit. We have our Youth Foundation, which is our cash scramble we have every other night during the rodeo, where kids have an opportunity to get funding to raise a calf, and they take that money and they sell the calf and they take that money for their schooling. Stampede for the Cure, we're really proud of that. We've had it for 9 years now. It's an organization that we use to raise money for breast cancer awareness. The money stays in our community. It goes to our 2 sponsors, our 2 partners, which is St. Alphonsus and St. Luke's. And every year we have that come to our event approximately 65,000 people. And so it's exciting that we have this rodeo in our little town of Nampa. And it's a joy to, and actually for me to be the president this year is quite an honor, I feel, and excitement. And as long as those 20 red shirts don't hang me first before we get over with, I think I'll survive. But at this time, I'd like to introduce a few things for us here to talk about our artwork. I'd like to have Curtis Homer come up.
Sure, while he's doing that, can you just say and spell your name for the editor?
Spell my name?
Yes.
It's Ken, K-E-N. Last name is Nicodemus. That's Nicodemus.
Thank you. You bet.
Well, I'll try not to put that rope away right there. He's not done yet. So it's exciting for me. I said I've been in Nampa about 30 years now. I've always worked security when I was on the police department at the old Green Queen. So that was quite an exciting time back then. You had a beer booth outside to work. Everybody just stand around drinking beer and fighting. So we're in a whole new situation out here. We have a nice facility here, and it's been a great work. And I think we've been out here since '96. And so the time goes by. It's almost 20 years out here. But to talk about our 100-year anniversary, about 3 years ago, the board of directors were wanting to get some artwork started to show our last, 98, 99, 100 years. And so I have one of my boys, Chauncey Homer. He lives in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm really proud of him because he is a professional artist and he does this for a living. And he came up and talked to the board and made a proposal. and they did make a contract with him for 3 years. On the old-time rider, what we tried to depict is, you know, when the rodeos first started, the equipment was different, the rigging was different, and so we kind of started that way in 2015. It's called Old School, and that's the first painting he did for us. The second painting in the middle is actually calf roper from back in the 50s and 60s. This is a 11-time world champion cowboy. He's on our board of directors. This is a Dean Oliver. That's the one in the middle. And most of the people would look at it and say, well, he's getting off on the wrong side of the horse, but Dean Oliver did get off on that side. And now today's cowboys get off on the opposite side, most of them. So then that was kind of the middle of the century. And then today, this is our new one. We just got this in yesterday. And this is a bull rider that we have. And this is our 2015 canvas. These are original canvas prints. This poster is the 100-year Snake River Stampede. And he also, my son did that. And he also designed our logo that's on the front of the building above the entryway when you go in. That's our new logo. It's also the logo that we have on our shirts. So I'm extremely proud of him coming from, you know, when he was little, he was easy to entertain. All you had to do is buy him a canvas book or an art book and give him some pencils, and he was set. So he's always drawn. And when he got out of the service, then he moved to Tucson, went to an art school. And he's painted with some of the best artists in the country down there in Tucson. So he's in about 8 or 10 galleries nationwide, about 7 or 8 different states. So I'm proud of him, and I said he's done us a great job on getting these out. We will actually be setting up a display at the Civic Center, Nampa Civic Center, in the next week or 2, and we'll have this displayed as well as some of our older artifacts as we gather those up.
Anybody want any further questions for Curtis
Chief,
Homer?
Chief, would you do the same? I know who you are, but the editor, would you do the same, spell your name?
It's Curtis Homer, C-U-R-T-I-S-H-O-M-E-R.
I love your group.
Thanks, Curtis. Also, there's prints available on all these canvas prints.
Yeah, the canvas prints are being printed. We'll have those within 30 days. But you can buy those at the rodeo office. We have those, and then the 100-year Stampede posters. We'll have those. I've got a few in now. We'll have those. Those are $20 a piece if anyone collects those. So.
Signed by the artist.
Yeah, they're all signed and numbered, and we're really proud of the one in the middle there of Dean Oliver because you know, he's one of the big directors of this rodeo. We're proud of that. He's from our area, hardworking guy, and it's a pleasure to know him and serve on the board with him.
In case, and then for our next guest, if you're like a good stiff drink, I'll introduce. It was good. You always got to find somebody to look at. Like my wife said, don't say a lot. So I did that a lot. So just let her know that I did do that. Steve Tester would come on up here and speak about our 100 whiskey.
Thanks a lot. I've got to get my brown bag out of here. Seriously. Well, when I started with the rodeo board in 1976, we had a great bad whiskey called Black Velvet. So we decided about 6 years ago to create our own whiskey as a diverse means of additional income. And so we've had our product on the market here in Idaho and 27 other states, competing with Pelton. Ours is a lot better than Pelton, of course. And so we decided we've been selling that. We decided to come out with our own 100-year-old anniversary whiskey. It came out this year, and this is a limited edition. We created 500 cases of it. Each 300 cases were shipped to our distributor, Total Wine and Spirits, throughout the United States. 100 cases going to Oregon, 100 cases to Idaho, and then that would be gone. And then hopefully maybe we'll do it again in the next 100 years, I guess. But basically, this is a really neat whiskey. It's an 8-year-old aged Canadian whiskey. We put it in our own barrels, 5 barrels over in Portland, each of under 2 years. So it's 10-year-old aged whiskey. And I tried some Monday with some bunch of people. I thought it was really good. So it's one of our products, and our income from the whiskey sales. Indio Spirits in Portland is our partner, have been from the beginning. All the income that goes back into our purse to help support our purse and help support our youth events, 4-H, and I jokingly always say whiskey for kids, but that's not really the point of it. Is we're trying to help our rodeo stand business and support the community and civic clubs we've always supported. So just one source of income. I'm very proud of our bottle, and I hope everybody watching will enjoy it. Any questions? Okay, if you don't ask any questions, you only get this much.
Can you just say and spell your name?
Steve Tester, T-E-S-T-E-R. It's kind of like Claudia and Dave, but it's not real simple.
He's grandpa.
Yeah.
And you represent, again, you represent the whiskey company, or are you just part of the board?
No, I'm part of the board. I've been in since 1976, but my name is on every bottle. I check every single bottle. My wife's ordered me a new liver from Africa. So
No, all joking aside, Steve is he spearheads the whiskey. Also, like I mentioned earlier, if it wasn't for our community, our partners that we have, the rodeo would have a very hard time to exist now or have existed over 100 years. So I'd like to introduce the Idaho Lottery, David Workman, and he's partnered with us. And we had our lottery drawing last year on a Saturday night. It was great. A lot of work for 2 seconds, but
60 seconds.
60 seconds, a lot of work. 60 hours for 60 seconds, but it was exciting, and we're excited to partner up with you again. So, David.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm David Workman. I'm the lottery spokesperson for the lottery here in the state, DAVID-WORKMAN, for your editors. They've never seen me before.
You are catching up.
I'm quick on the uptake for that. Let me say a couple of words. First of all, thank you guys for coming out today. It's a great privilege for the lottery to be able to help to commemorate and celebrate 100 years of rodeo in the state of Idaho, and the ability to work with such amazing people who put on the Snake River Stampede, and from our perspective, amazing artists to create these amazing works that are here. This year, when we started last year, on the last night of the rodeo, the lottery celebrated its 25th anniversary by hosting the National Powerball Draw. During the rodeo, the drawing was held live, broadcast to a few people around the country. There was a jackpot winner that night in another state that came from that, but it was a very successful event. It was the kickoff night for what became the 100th anniversary now for the Snake River Stampede, and we're very pleased to have the opportunity to work with them again this year. So I'm going to step away from the microphone and show you how we've taken these works of art with our graphic artists and translated them into a brand new ticket that will be available in early June for sale. It's a $5 ticket. It's called Rodeo Riches. It has a top prize of $50,000 on it. And I'm going to just show you how it translated over from the artwork into the opportunities that we have for our players this summer.
If I could just take a minute, I know you guys can't shoot into the light, so we're gonna just move these over here for y'all.
They should line right up.
I'm gonna mix up the order. It's gonna be like a little.
That's the way they'll come out on the ticket, actually. This is called a 3-scene game. So when you go to the store, what you'll see in a pack of tickets, you'll see one of these come down for the first scene. Right below it in the next line would be this ticket here, which would come with it. It's the exact same game, just a different artwork across the top. And then, of course, the 100th anniversary ticket right there with the logo from this year.
Are they going to be the exact same?
These are a little larger. These don't dispense very well or vend from our vending machines, but they will be a standard size for a $5 scratch ticket. They turned out good, didn't they?
Yeah, they look really well.
It's really good when you have great artwork to be able to work with.
Any more questions for David?
Questions for me? And we got the pictures. I don't want to move to you guys are ready.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, I'll squeeze out of here. Ken, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What makes you think they're taking pictures of you?
Well, no, they're not taking pictures. They're getting the artwork in the ticket.
So this year, we are celebrating our birthday, and everybody should celebrate birthday with a big party. And we're going to be doing that throughout the whole week of the rodeo. We're actually going to start it early. We're going to have our festival that we usually have here at the amphitheater. It's actually going to be downtown Nampa. The downtown merchants asked us if we could bring it down there and kick it off down there the rodeo week. So that'll be on Friday, the 10th, and Saturday, the 11th. It'll be downtown Nampa. They're blocking it off, and go down to Friday. Friday night we'll have a dance. Saturday morning we'll have the pancake feed that no, it's the
Service.
downtown merchants do a pancake feed. After the pancake feed, we have our parade at 10 o'clock that will be televised. And then after the parade, we'll have the festival going on downtown, kids' games, activities, things for the parents, things for the kids. We have the whole community of downtown merchants are getting behind us and having fun with that. Also, don't forget about our Buckaroo Breakfast. The Buckaroo Breakfast started many years ago. Dennis was just a young lad when it started. Dennis Perry, our director. It actually took over after they quit doing the barbecue. The Buckaroo Breakfast came alive. That goes on for Monday and Tuesday mornings. We also have Pink on the Dirt, which is on Wednesday. It's a fundraiser for Stampede for the Cure. It also helps MRI, Miss Rodeo Idaho. That's a fundraiser for them as well. Tickets are available. You can just call the office or get with Miss Rodeo Idaho on that. And we have a lot of fun. Also, every year for the past 4 years, there's a band that's came out of Arkansas to play for us on Friday night outside the building. It's called the River Belly Band. So make sure you say that 10 times, River Belly Band. And they're going to come up and spend the whole week with us. They'll be here Tuesday through Saturday. They will be playing live Friday night in the arena, just like we used to do at the old grounds. We pull out a skid and they'll be coming out and singing for us. They're an exciting band. For the folks that have, remember the old Queen, and they miss her, we all do, but times change. I miss Batman and Robin, but you know, it kind of moves on. And for those that have never came to the rodeo, because we moved out here, it's a time to start coming back to the rodeo. And for those that moved into the valley and have never been to the rodeo, this is going to be a good year to start a new tradition coming to the rodeo. We'll have pyrotechnics going on every night of the week. We'll have a birthday cake. We'll be singing happy birthday. And there's just a lot of excitement going on. Nampa's had the wildest, fastest show on earth for 100 years. And it's the Snake River Stampede. You need to show up this year. Thank you. These are our buckles. They are, there's a limited amount of these buckles, commemorative buckles for the 100 years. They actually say Snake River Stampede, 100 years anniversary, 1915 to 2015. And then for the ladies, we didn't leave you out, a pendant. It says, it looks just like our buckle. And these are available, they'll be available during the rodeo, and they're also available down at the Stampede office.
All right, any more questions? And if you guys want to do, one-on-ones, pair off, Dean's probably going to kill me for saying this because he forgot his red shirt, but he's here. Again, this display over here, these are artifacts from Leon Coffey, and there's the poster from the year that he came as well. I need those as visuals.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.